Greetings, everybody. Chat has spoken, and we are going to jump into a ranked draft core set 2020. We are on our primary free-to-play account because this account does not have 4x mythics of M20 yet. So happy to play this on the main account and see if we can't round out our mythics, because collecting 4x is fun. And we're going to jump in and do that as soon as I thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you like collecting things, boy, can they help out on the Magic front. If there's anything you're missing from your collection, they've got it for you at Card Kingdom. Yeah, 95% of the time feels like my hit rate. Sometimes they're out of something, but when they are, I know they're aggressively pursuing to get it in stock. And if you happen to have it, that's where you check their buy list and see their amazing buy prices, where you can get a 30% bonus on top of whatever price they cite if you want to take that payment in store credit and keep the circle of Magic life going, where you take your draft cast-offs and the singles you don't need anymore, they're just cluttering up your space. You ship them to Card Kingdom, you turn that into credit, and then you turn it into drafts or a new shiny for your latest commander deck or whatever. And if you do any of that via Card Kingdom, please check out that link Mama just posted in chat. And for those of you on YouTube, of course, you can check my notes, my info details, and see the Card Kingdom link. But when you shop at Card Kingdom from my affiliate link, it lets them know that you are a viewer of my show here and that you appreciate their support of it. I sure do. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Appreciate it. Check them out whenever you have a physical Magic need. Okay. Jumping in. Well, just talking about how this account is not full up on the mythics of this set. We have only one of 4 Cavalier of Dawn, so we're going to take this just for the collection building, and if we wanted to, we could convert mythics in, we could convert mythics into Cavalier of Dawn to convert it into gems, but I'm content to just collection build on this account. I like getting 4x on the main account. It lets us do whatever we want in constructed. And the trouble is, Dawn is heavy white. Last time we drafted M20 on stream, we also ended up in white. We had a first pick of Johnny, and it worked out great. Johnny was an incredible bomb. Cavalier is good, but triple white is asking a lot. We're going to take it and see where it goes, but we don't need to play white just because we take this Cavalier. I am also noting Bloodthirsty Aerialist is an excellent pick. Easy to find some incidental life gain in the set that starts making this thing really big, like an Aerial Assault, for example, incidental life gain, like a Moldavine Reclamation, incidental life gain. Also a great card in black-green, but is basically it's a gold card. You kind of want to get this a few picks into a pack after you're already in these colors. Anyway, we're gonna take the Cavalier and see where we go from here. Well, we get ourselves another chance at a Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Mask of Immolation is pretty good in red-based elemental deck, especially. Silverax Shaman leapt out as the standout green common at launch, but ended up feeling like it could be just okay. It gets paralyzed, and then you're sad. Often, if you're facing a Skies deck, it's just too slow. You don't care about a 5/4 on 5 as much. So I'm always going to run these in my green decks, but this is one that really fell in value. We've got the Corpse Knight, which I don't want to take here. I think we just take Aerialist. Oh yeah, I'll clear my record and stuff. Let's at least fix this. We are an M20 best of 1. And we're just on the main account. And of course, we haven't even played yet. 0-0. So I'm going to take the Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Maybe, I don't think this wheels. Maybe. But take Aerialist. Actually, black-white was our last deck, and we did win 7 with it. But let's keep on looking for the best card, although I think the best card here is probably another black card in Blood Burglar, or even the Raise the Alarm. But I think Cavalier Retribution Wand, well, Oh yeah, destroy your own wand. Sure. Well, if we end up in white and we see a wand, we'll keep that in mind, D. I don't know if it's still worth playing because you're kind of playing a mediocre card in the wand to try to make it good with one specific card, and that's a little bit narrow. I have Cardboard Live running. Do I need to restart? Let me know, chat. It's working for me. Good work finding a bright side, Robert. Maybe me looking at it made it work. Anyway, I'm going to take Blood Burglar. I like fitting in a 2, and it actually works with our Aerialist. A nice combo in this format is Blood Burglar on 2, especially on the play. If you go Blood Burglar on 2 when they have 1 land, they play their second land, and they probably play something that at best trades with the Blood Burglar. Turn 3, you drop Aerialist and attack with a Blood Burglar, and you have a 3/4 flyer on 3. So that's an excellent combo to start out with in our first few cards here. Still whatever on Cavalier. We'll see where we go. I want to focus on best card. Like, we can take Scholar of Ages here. Even Luis ended up down on this card by the end of the format. He didn't feel that you really had time to act on it, but I still think you can do stuff with this card. And Blue-Black Control could be the place for it. Although with 2 life gain cards, white-black life gain is real too, and we could justify the Griffin Protector given that we do have the Cavalier. I mean, we don't have to ignore that. We don't have to marry the Cavalier, but we don't have to. We can let it influence our picks somewhat. So I think, yeah, let's take the Scholar and see if we end up there. I rarely get a chance to play this card, so I'm kind of enamored with that chance, and somewhat rewarded here with a Boreal Elemental, which I think is one of the premier commons in the set. Really, that 4 toughness on the 3 powered flyer is really something else, and that tax on killing it also matters. It can really affect how fast your opponent can deal with it, or how much of their turn it takes up. So I'm going to take Elemental. It also goes with the Scholar. Gorging Vulture is arguable because, again, incidental life gain goes with the Aerialist. However, I think these come a little bit later. These are more important to me as an early pick, as taking a stand on where we want to be here. So I'm going to take a Boreal Elemental. And rewarded ? Frost Lynx feels like what we want to do here. I don't see Woodland Champ can be fun to build around, but we're not really doing that. So I'm going to take Frost Lynx. Seems like best card in the pack, and it matches. We could also take Cutthroat, I guess, but Frost Lynx is cheaper, better at this point. There are ways this could break where we'd rather have a Cutthroat, but I think. And here, there's really, like, I don't want to dip into green or red at this point, not for these, so we're just going to take a Fathom Fleet. Even though Epicure technically combos a little bit better with synergistic, or is a little more synergistic with the black cards we have already, I just don't think it's very impactful even in the life gain deck, so I just like taking the Cutthroat here. Befuddle is playable. Moorland Inquisitor, a solid 2-drop, although we're drifting farther and farther away from this Cavalier. In fact, I think I'm going to put it out of mind right now. Between Frost Lynx and Boreal, I like where we're headed here with black-blue. And Skeleton fits nicely in that plan. Yeah, take a Skeleton, try to find some Blade Brands, etc. Let's see what wheeled from our opener. Nothing exciting wheeled for us. Take a Prismite, which could be a begrudging hole filler. Miscreant, if we wanted to see if we can't pick up many more, but I've never really been happy playing Miscreants outside of a Skies deck that has some of those Sky Lords, you know, +1/+1 to flyers. So Miscreant on spec or yeah, well, all this stuff, like really taking Sentry. I'd rather just have a Prismite, although is there any chance we end up back in Cavalier land? I think I'm going to take Miscreant on spec. I think we don't want to play any of these, but that's maybe the one most likely to be played. Piranhas I don't love, but they do fill a curve. If our plan ends up being more skyward with the Aerialist and the Elemental, then I'm okay with the Piranhas. 3/3 is a very relevant power toughness combo in the format. It ends up, there's a lot of 2/3s, a lot of 2/2s, and getting a Piranhas down on 2 as a 3/3 when you're just trying to clog the ground to win in the air is pretty effective. And the opportunity cost is a hedge towards white with a combat trick, or this Epicure that, again, I really don't like even in life gain, so I'm going to take the Piranhas. We could spec on Servant, but this is another strategy I don't love, but you see it doing some things sometimes. I've had it do some things sometimes, but mostly it's a trap. It's but at this point, what are we taking instead? A Raptor. I mean, maybe we drop the black and end up white, blue skies, and we bring back the Cavalier. But I think we're deep enough into black to take the Servant on spec. This is best of one. I can see scenarios where I bring Zephyr Charge in out of the board, especially in a blue-green situation where you need either defense against flying or just a way to win, a way to break stalls, but we don't have that, so we'll take a Mind Rot and try not to play it. And I'm just going to put in fact, I'm going to put the Mind Rot in the board too. Yeah, Golem is a reasonable spec as well, given we're in Weaponsmith colors, but I need like multiple weaponsmiths before I'm happy to play even a single golem, so I'm not too sad to see that golem go by. Scheming Symmetry is not good enough. Love the art, Seb, but choose two target players. Each of them searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. Just we don't have enough power to imbalance it in our favor enough. But Blood for Bones is great, so we're just gonna take Blood for Bones. Yeah, Blood for Bones Scholar is a thing. We can do Blood for Bone. Yeah, this is the type of uncommon combo card that has enough game impact and combo potential for me to want to take it both for fun and for competitive to the gem EV. Couple of combo cards up here. Too bad we're not anywhere near. I mean, Risen Reef we could try and splash for. We have 1 elemental, 2 elementals. So we have a couple of elementals and a potentially splashable Risen Reef, but there's just a murder. Let's just take the murder, right? I mean, sorry, Reef. Another Scholar. Wow. Is that too greedy? Can we wheel this Blood Burglar? Because I really want the Blood Burglar too. And 2 Scholars might be pushing it anyway. Let's pull this. We have Blood or Ages. 2 Scholars sounds more fun, but it might not be the grown-up pick. Maybe Blood Burglar is the grown-up pick, although you might argue we could wheel the Blood Burglar. Blood Burglar often wheels if the bots aren't heavily into black, so we could take Scholar and try to wheel the Burglar, or we could be grown-ups and just take the Burglar. Tied, look at that. All right, given the opportunity cost and the legit chance this Burglar wheels, I'm going to take a second Scholar, but this makes me want to find like a Scuttlemutt. This makes me really want a Scuttlemutt. Here's a Bow. These also wheeled the last time we drafted. I'd rather just take a Frostlynx. If we're trying to survive to get to a Scholar or whatever, let's take some slowdown stuff. There's a Miscreant that might wheel. We can try and pile on that. Another Bow or a Winged Words or a Paralysis. I've been largely, I'm pretty down on Paralysis. For those of you who drafted a lot of M20 with me, probably remember that. I'd rather just get some card draw here, yeah. Bow looks nice. But yeah, let's get stuff for Scholars, and also card draw when you're trying to cast 7s is nice, because you just need land, like you just need land drops. Here we'll take Anticipate, probably run it. Yeah, I like the bows too. I'm curious if they come around. They might come around. Here we could take Boring Fortress Crab or Duress. We're going to take Vile. Again, we might just suddenly find ourselves in Weaponsmith territory, in which case we're okay with having Vials and bows that we've picked up along the way. Here's another Anticipate, but we're going to grab a Soul Salvage, even better. All sorts of recursive loops starting to appear here in our Scholar deck. It's going to hurt my head to play, I think. Here's a crab we can grab, although we might want just a Sea Serpent. It can be a game winner when you don't quite have closing power, which we don't really have right now. We just kind of have the Elemental. So if we don't pick up something better, we'll be happy to have a Serpent just to have something to close out games. Hopefully we don't end up playing it, but right now I would. Right now I think we just don't have the finishing power and we would have to run a card like that. Another Anticipate. I think we're not thinking about white anymore. We could take Lockbox for Vault Progress, but Anticipate might make the cut, but I'm going to put that in the board. Well, Vault Progress was the other option. We could take Convolute or another Vial. Where are we at on threes? Pretty decent on threes, actually. Although we're not playing Soul Salvage or Murder on 3, but we'll play these 4 on 3. So we have 4 cards we're happy to play on 3. That's close. I'm going to take a Vial, though. Yeah, because this is what I thought. Like, we still might get bows, and here, sure enough, here's a bow. We might have a shot at another one, even. Here's a 3 we can play on 3 and feel okay about it. Whether it does good work or not. At least cycling for a card is something. A couple of Vault Progress picks for the last couple. This would be a gem pick, obviously, and then we have Solid Removal and an Audacious Thief competing for the gems. This would possibly set up a splash if we wanted to splash a green card here. Well, no, I think the grown-up pick is actually gems. The forget EV. I'm going to take the card for my deck pick as the Disfigure, but I'm cool with doing that too. We only have the one bow, a couple of vials that I'd much rather play Disfigure than a vial. You know, I mean, compare that 4 mana to quote deal 2 at sort, you know, versus 1 mana. Let's take 1. I don't like Sleep Paralysis. It leaves the things on the battlefield. There's the unsummon is in this set, so things get unsummoned, things get untapped, and it's 4 mana, so that's clunky too. If someone sleep paralysis us, I'm like, sweet, we're gonna Blood for Bones. Oh, that's the other thing. There's a lot of sacrifice in the set. There's bone splinters and things that people can that players can do with their paralyzed creature. I think it's Disfigure if we're not taking gems, and we can go for a deck here. We'll take Disfigure. Also, again, we have Scholar of Ages, so getting instants and sorceries we're happy with is nice. If we had taken the land, we could consider Moldervine Reclamation. This is Blood Burglar did not wheel, by the way. Like, this is a lovely pack. We'd love to just take this whole row. I think I would take Blood Burglar before Vulture. Vulture is fine and actually does feed into like Blood for Bones and Soul Salvage. So if we ended up, hopefully we're not doing Undead Servant things. So Vulture definitely has some synergies here, but I also hope we don't play these Dragon Fires unless we get Weaponsmiths, in which case I would like to fill out the 2s a little better, and I still really like the Blood Burglar into Aerialist play. But there's also Winged Words too. We could get Winged Words number 2. Yeah, Vulture also works with the Scholars, that's true. Yeah, I don't want to be too bereft of 2s, but we could we could try it. Maybe there's a lot of synergy with the Vulture, it's true. Between life gain on the Aerialist, the 2 Scholars, the Blood for Bones, and the Soul Salvage, Vultures are doing a lot for the deck. So I'll do it. I'll take the Vulture because there's just enough synergy going on that I think it trumps my desire to fill out my 2s. And if I didn't have a Winged Words already, I might be inclined to even take Winged Words over all of this, but I am going to go with Vulture on synergy. Bone Splinters is nice, but wheelable, so I'm going to take Agonizing Siphon here. We're also pretty low on 4s, so this is a nice slot into 4 over like an Evolving Wilds. All right, another bow. We saw this one wheel, so this could wheel as well. And that makes me want to actually try the Winged Words over the bow here. We'll take Winged Words number 2. Lich is a nice pickup. Just what, well, not really what the doctor ordered. We are pretty stacked at 3, so this is actually kind of an awkward mana cost, but we're not passing it. Maybe we'll wheel this Blade Brand. I'll leave the crab in for now, but we're trying not to play that. Man, we're just an Icicle at 3 for better or for worse, taking another Lynx. Or just like a 2 for 1. Like 1 for 1 tends not to be enough in my mind to overcome the gem value of a rare. But once you get into like, this is always a 2 for 1, or engines can be built around, then it starts to push into that territory. It's again another topic that is awaiting my time and thoughts. I guess Skeleton number 2. I really like Skeletons when we have more Blade Brands. Blade Brand plus Skeleton is great. We might wheel one, and we do have Blood for Bones that works pretty good with Skelly, and Fathom Fleet. You can get them with an attack, what looks like a suicide attack. So I don't know, we'll take it. But right now, you can get decks where you're just set up to, frankly, just like abuse a skeleton, and we're not that. But maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll find the tools. I guess we take a Convolute here, and I don't know if we are going to play it though. Wow, Winged Words came back around. We got all the words. I don't know if we're going to run 3. But I'd rather have 3rd Words over 2nd Befuddle. 2nd Befuddle over Vault Progress? I'm going to say no. We're just not playing that Befuddle. Like, ever. We have 1. We're not playing 2. Are we playing 2 bows with no Weaponsmith? That's a question we have to answer. Blade Brand late. Great. Little sneaky late pickup there. Poor job gem harvesting. We passed on our rare opportunities, and the mythic we had we didn't have 4 of, so no gem grind this time, but we made progress on 4xing mythics even before opening packs, so that's cool. 7 cuts here. Let's take a look at our initial numbers. We're 16, 14. Yeah, bows wheel, although 3 of them could have wheeled and 1 of them didn't, so they're not just like guaranteed wheels, but and I don't hate that they like. I don't even know if we're playing these. So I don't hate that they wheel, because I don't think they're great picks unless you're going to get 3 or 4, or you have Weaponsmith, right? So 2 is a really awkward number of bows in best of 1. And I think I'm going to cut them. And I'm going to cut this Befuddle. And even the Convolute, maybe we just go a little more, be a little more proactive and keep the Winged Words in before we cut those other kind of cantrippy 3 mana plays. This is not a cantrip, you know what I mean, and just go with card draw. Anticipate, I think I want to keep Anticipate because it's something to play on 2, and we have 2 skeletons. If you think of these as 2s and this is early defense, you start to feel better about your curve, right? If you call your 1 drops 2 drops, suddenly, oh, we're actually doing okay, right? But yeah, I mean, given that, maybe we could. with 3 winged words, or we could still cut a words and maybe go anticipate to have something on 2 and 2 words on 3. I think I like that a little bit better. Let's give ourselves another something to do with 2 mana. Not only can we slot this in on 2, but we can do 2 2-drops on 4, or a 3 and an anticipate on 5, that kind of thing. Yeah, crab is probably our worst creature right now. We have 16 of those, so we're doing okay there. I think we're closing in on a solid looking deck here. We just need one. What's our worst card? We could cut a creature if we really wanted to, but I'm leaning towards spell. I guess Blade Brand is better than Anticipate, so maybe we even cut the Anticipate and just go 2 winged words. Yeah, Moat Piranhas could be our weak link as well, but again, I do want to make sure we have action early. Cutthroat is doing less in this deck than most, but the skeletons, most people you can kind of see it coming, and you just don't block the attacking skeleton. Too bad we didn't end up with another Blood Burglar. We had our chances, but none of the Blood Burglars ever wield Blood Burglars. We could also, I was gonna say with winged words we could trim land, but nah, we want to get to a scholar, so if anything we go to more land. Close one. I think I like the candidates of Piranha Anticipate, or like 1 Frost Lynx. We could even let a Lynx go. Yeah, it's when Link gets really cold. I think we can actually let a Frost Lynx go, and I think we'd be fine. I think that looks good to me. Actually, we never really did find the closeout besides Value Town. Like we, go nuts with Blood for Bones, or, Soul Salvage and Scholar. Like we can get the value train going, but I kind of like having a Serpent as, again, a game closer. I'm going to go with this. We can revisit, but I'm going to start here. Keep our early drops, give up a Lynx. Well, we have 3 of them, and really, honestly, Frost Lynx are best when you're aggro. Like, ideally, what you're doing with a Frost Lynx is, you're curving out and tapping their blockers and getting in for an attack. If the job of the Frost Lynx is to freeze and stall your opponent so you can get to Scholar, that's fine, but it's not amazing, and I think we can cut one of those. And also, because it's nice to have one for like Blood for Bones recursion and Soul Salvage recursion. So in a sense, we get multiple Frost Lynxes if we decide that's what's best. Like if we want to get this back and use it, we can. So you think the Value Train is a fine closer and we don't need the Serpent? Is that your suggestion? I'm going to run it like this, and well, it's also not irrelevant as a 4/6. I hear what you're saying, Fenor, and you may be right. But yeah, we'll call this Value Town. And then I'm going to start, at least play 1 game this way. I hear what you're saying, though. I'm going to start playing, though, and then we'll see if this Serpent should be replaced, or if we want to bring back in a 3rd Frosty or a 3rd Winged Words. But I like how this is set up. That's a good option, too. There will be blood. Maybe something to do with the pursuit of wisdom, scholarliness, or something. Study hard. All right, away we go. Nice alliteration from the banana. Value study. All right, we don't have a second swamp for this aerialist, but the early disfigure makes me want to keep this. We're not going to get run over with a disfigure in our hand, and if we find a swamp, great, and if not, we find any land, we get a Fathom Fleet on 4. And maybe we find some stuff to do in the meantime. So I think we have to keep this. Not the card we really wanted to see. This is more of a late game card for us. I want to see the winged words instead. Cool, though. We got another swamp. If they play something disfigurable, we're just going to do it. Drop down our aerialist next turn and be happy to have a 3-drop that we know we can play now. Yep. Dead Angel, untap, aerialist. Steadily building towards Scholar with 5 of our lands already. Frosty instead of Fathom Fleet? Yeah, maybe we can get Frosty to hit the tracker and then upgrade. Basically the play you're doing here, like we would play the Frost Links, tap down the tracker, it stalls it for a turn. But eventually what we want to do is attack the Frost Links into something, and even if the Frost Links is eaten, if we play the Cutthroat, it turns the Frost Links into a removal spell, basically, and that's fine. We'll see if they want to take a trade here. Probably not, but then we drop a Piranhas. Oh, thanks, Meme Redemption. You got it. So they decided to trade to put a counter on the tracker. That's understandable. We're going to play... Well, we can play Piranhas, but we... let's see, we can play... Now if we play Cutthroat, it doesn't actually do what we want, and neither does Piranhas. Maybe that wasn't a great attack for that reason. Yeah, we just play Moat and Pass. There's not really anything else to do here. Not enough value for me, Funky. Not enough value. I'd rather, like, chump with the Moat Piranhas and then Soul Salvage them both back. If they're taking a turn 6 to do that, that's not bad for us. We'll keep that pinned down here with the Frost Links and just get in for 2. Not amazing, but slowly doing it. I can give you the Frosty. I don't 100% alternates, but yes, you're right. This meme would be justified with the Frost Links play.
All right, everyone, chill.
Robert redeemed anyway. Might pretend I don't know that thing has reach, and then we can Fathom Fleet, Cutthroat it, and just salvage back the salvage it back. So often, you know, I'm just kind of playing like I don't know that that thing has reach. And that's why I didn't attack the Frost Lynx. It sells the it sells that a little better. Now do we want to play it anyway? If they're going to keep playing around it, we can just keep attacking with the Aerialist until they decide to block. I'm going to end the turn. We're not under a lot of pressure here. Orion wants me to play it. The other thing is, though, it doesn't do anything on the board. I guess you could say Piranhas plus Cutthroat double blocks a Howling Giant to only 1-for-1. That's pretty amazing. I was like, I wonder what they're going to get. Surely not a second Howling Giant, right? Well. And in this case, yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. This is just a 1-for-1. We're happy to take. We get our Scholar, so now we can start doing some stuff. They kind of knew this was coming, but it's okay. They figure they got another one, right? Well, I figure I got a Soul Salvage. Let's get Lynx and Aerialist. We actually just want to keep trading because we're going to get this back and try and, you know, do some long, wide recursive loops here. I'm a little worried about the quantity of creatures they have. Yeah, it's a lot of wolves. A lot of wolves, but 2-3 will help against the wolves. Yeah, what we're doing is slow, so the question is, can we do it fast enough to not die to all this? And it starts here, though, with we Aerialist, we Lynx, and then we Scholar next turn. We can also, let's see, 5, 6, 7. Too bad. If we had 8, I would just go Aerialist, Elemental, and then we could Lynx to get in a big attack. Yeah, this is going to be really big as well. But we're just... Can we loop fast enough to manage all of this is the question. So maybe we even save... Like, we could just do Scholar now. This is where I knew it was going to start hurting my head. Because we could Scholar for the salvage. And then go ahead and trade off the Scholar. Either, you know, threaten to eat wolves. Or combine with the Lynx to take out the Giant. But I guess Aerialist plus Lynx is the play. I was trying to find something to do besides these two. But if we Lynx the Giant and then Aerialist holds off all these 2s, we basically don't get attacked next turn, which is pretty big for us. So I think that's what we have to do.
All right, everyone, chill.
If I do that every time and we recur enough, you're going to get sick of it. Big Squad Captain, 9-9. Well, what we need now is a Blood for Bones. All right, we can trade here. Get rid of the... oh, wait, this can... No, it can still... oh, yeah, they've tapped out of First Strike mana. Because they tapped out a white. That's weird. Why did it do that to them, I wonder? do we have to block twice? If we block twice, then I guess next turn we're saying Scholar, Chump, Squad Captain, get back Soul Salvage. I think we need to do this. Yeah. I'm gonna double trade. Really rough turn coming up though. No choice here in the matter though. We're gonna play Scholar of Ages and hope we're fast enough, but I think we're running a little slow here to accomplish what we're seeing. Although we get Disfigure. I kind of forgot that. I was just focused on the Soul Salvage. The Disfigure is interesting. I suppose we have to use it to kill a wolf, though, because we do need to chump this Squad Captain. Bacalao Fever wants me to kill the giant rather than chump. Maybe I didn't have time to do that. But we're going to see if we can find... Let's see, we need to find 2 creatures on 6. Yeah, we can get 2 Frost Lynxes here. We need to get back the Scholar, though. So we get Scholar and Frost Lynx, and then we're not dead. Or maybe we are just dead still. Yeah, we're still just dead in that spot. So maybe I played last turn wrong. Let's make him do it, though. I'll make him do it. But we did. Just a little slow. We started to get... Or we could get 2 Frost Lynx and not be dead. I guess we just have to give up on the loop right now. Yeah. I was clinging to my Scholar loop, but really I need to cling to not dying. Yeah, if we top deck Blood for Bones, we're not out of it.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
That, however, is not a Blood for Bones and spells our doom. We'll leave the land in hand and see if we can't trick him with trickery. Oh, they figured it out. All right. GG. Oh, boxed in? Yes. What do you want, Fenor? What did I miss? I think this deck is fun, but it is definitely a bit clunky. You act like I follow all your lunchbox politics. I am just a humble public servant. Apolitical. Link, not link. I love you all. All right, so yeah, maybe seeing how slow that did play out, I'm liking the Sea Serpent less. And I think I want to try. I think you're right. I think if we make it to our end game of looping Scholars, that's what wins the game for us. We were just a little slow on it on that front. The double Howling Giant was a little much, frankly. if Oppo only put up the one giant, I think we could have taken that game, but pattern matching a Howling Giant is tough to recover from. I think I'm going to run the 2 links, actually. Get rid of Link altogether. Well, that seems like a dealer's choice. So I'm gonna take away Link, and I'm gonna put something up that we've never had in the main corner before. All right, I'm going deep. Junior Miss. Junior Miss. It's on my to-do list. GPick is to make a command to list all possible lunchboxes, but I'm going to do it. We have some lunchboxes in storage, so hopefully by next week it'll rise up high enough on the to-do list that I'll dig some lunchboxes out of storage. My plan for the weekend is to redo the lunchboxes over the weekend and surprise you with a, well, I guess not a surprise anymore, but then debut a completely shuffled up lunchbox setup with some debuted lunchboxes for your entertainment. Thanks, Nantuko. Yeah, it's I could make the command too. It's just getting the list together. All right, let's see if we can find a win with this deck. It's cool. I like it. Another Scholar in the opener that's a little early, but with 2 of each of our lands and a Disfigure, I'm again going to keep... we could Blade Brand on an opponent's creature if we really wanted to cycle. All right, words on 3 is okay, but we'll have to discard, right? That's how you... Well, no, we're on the play, so maybe we don't. How does that work? Oh, yeah, we don't, because we're on the play. And because we get to disfigure a Cerulean Drake if we want. We're not playing red, so the Drake is actually not that big a deal to us, but it is something to do with our mana right now. I think I'm going to actually Blade Brand cycle. What it looks like, what we're seeing here is white-blue, which indicates a Skies deck, which becomes really hard to use Blade Brand effectively. This is better for trading off with big ground stuff, which you don't really see a lot against the white decks. So yeah, we're going to Blade Brand it to cycle and not use our Disfigure on it because it doesn't feel important enough to Disfigure. And we can wing words here on 3. Yeah, I don't think there's... I mean, they're all metal boxes. There might be some... I mean... even the Grizzly. Yeah, they're all metal. We're going to ask opponent a question about their commitment to equipment. But we can do that with a Vulture play as well. So let's Vulture. Continue feeding Scholar. Waiting to Disfigure until they spend some time equipping, which I assume they're going to do so that the Drake can fight the Vulture. Ooh, never mind. I still kind of wanted to make them equip first, but I'm not going to not spend this 1 mana to take out their 4-drop. We're going to do that. We can murder in response to equip later if we want. Yeah, some opponents you're going to wish you had the bow in, and if we were best of 3, we could make those types of choices, but Oh, I did the wrong one. I just kind of instinctively did that. Darn it. Well, we're super close to scholaring it all back. It was just a mistake. I told you what I intended to do, and then and just targeted the wrong thing because I was talking. But I'm gonna go for it here. I'm kind of, quote, using up my removal, but with Scholar of the Ages, we just have to try and make sure we sneak Scholar of Ages in when they're tapped out of counter possibilities. And then using our removal is fine. We're just going to get a bunch of it back. Blood for Bones, you say? So, okay. So as an initial con, we sacrifice the Vulture. We return a creature card from your graveyard to battlefield, then another from a graveyard to hand. So we could sack the Vulture to reanimate the Scholar. That seems good. And can't attack. I don't think they would trade because they have this axe they want to get going, but it would completely disrupt everything if they found a trade in them. So even though high chance if we attack with the Vulture, we would just get in for 2. I hear you, Blue, but the damage if they found it, like almost this is like Stream Snipe play around. Like it would be so bad for us if they found a block that I'm not going to risk it, even though I think you're right that like 98% of the time they don't block. In this case, we're not going to even risk it. And I like a Disfigure, and I'm going to get the Murder. I know we could get the card draw, but we're going to get that with our other Scholar. And I'm going to murder this now, or disfigure this now before they can do anything about it. Hey, Queen, welcome. Didn't see you there for a second. Interesting. Frosty, we could drop Frostlinks right now, but really I want to get Scholar down while the Blue Mage is tapped out. We can even offer them this Scholar. Like, I don't even care. You want to trade? You want to trade off? Let's trade off. Yeah, we can just we can get Blood for Bones back. Probably even just want the Disfigure back. Like, why get card draw when we have Scholars? I guess what we want to do is... No, yeah, we're going to keep doing that. It just doesn't matter. This is where Value Town is a well-named deck. Like, we're doing so much value, it almost doesn't matter which value we choose. I'm going to go ahead and disfigure the Sprite. Let's Lynx the Denizen. Get in for 6. And let's see, if we Blood for Bones... There's not 2 things in the yard for Blood for Bones right now. Maybe we just cast Vulture. I'm going to cast Vulture again. We don't need to, I know. But Vulture seemed like a good play there. Adds to the aggression, fills the yard for more of this shenanigans. Hey, all natural.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me, lads.
Just got to make sure we don't get milled. Let's see, we're at 10 cards in library. Yeah, cleansing would be sad. As it is, we just want to murder and tap and all that stuff. So let's go 5, 6, 7, 8. Takes 5. Yeah, we can murder and frost link. So let's murder the elemental. Actually, maybe murder the sailor. Links the elemental. Then it's cheaper for us to do, although it doesn't really matter. Not like we're doing anything else with the mana. And yeah, there's just so much we can do. It's overwhelming. Thank you for that sub. I guess I'm going to murder the Boreal Elemental. If they want to spend 4 mana drawing with the Sailor, I don't think they can keep up. And the 2 mana savings doesn't matter because we don't have anything to do with the extra mana anyway. Well, now we just siphon and win. All right, value train was a bullet train this time. Yeah, that was one of those spots where there was so much value, I was overwhelmed by it, and it, as Jay Schneider likes to say when I'm in that spot, all paths lead to victory. Do what you want. But that optimalist in me wants to know what is the most sure victory. And just like that, he was out of coffee. Some extra crunchy bits. Some grounds made it in this time. Wow, we've started with a Disfigure and a Scholar in our opener each time so far, but we're going to keep this again. Unlikely to disfigure anything on 1, but might as well keep the chance. We were going to be put to the test of whether or not to cycle Blade Brand. I wasn't really sure what we were going to do there. Hopefully not lands. Got a lot of our lands, which we kind of want here, although none of them were islands, and we do need another island. Well, I'm going to play my own aerialist, and then next turn between Blade Brand and Disfigure, we have a lot of options to try and trade or win combat with their aerialist. Oops, wrong card. If they manage to gain life somehow next turn, maybe they drop a 4th land and play the Siphon to kill our aerialist. That's like our worst case scenario. And then in that spot, we have to try and chump with Vulture and give it Blade Brand or Disfigure the aerialist or something. But ideally, they don't increase the size of their aerialist, and we get these aerialists to bounce off each other, and then Blade Brand is a winner. Like right here, for example. Although they have counterspell mana up and they haven't done anything. We do have 2 outs, though. Like, if they counter one of these, we can do the other one, so I'm still going to attack. Even if they have a counterspell, we have a good spot. Like, we have a fallback of Blade Brand on the Vulture. We're going to try and disfigure, though, in this spot, because then that just wins combat outright. And if this fails, we get to Blade Brand as a backup plan. All right, so they had that. They need a second negate now, though. And handy that we found a land. We get to make our land drop to boot. We don't mind dead creatures anyway with the soul salvage. So, actually kind of want one more thing dead. But I'll take a land and a Boreal Elemental. No land. We do have a play, though, at least. Or a play to try. Oppo, 5 cards, 5 mana up. Nobody's expecting Oppo to have nothing here. But again, a countered Frostlink is actually fine with us. Gives us a second creature in the yard for that soul salvage. Great time to give him something for that Convolute. Interesting. Well, we could Blood for Bones and get back Lynx and Vulture, but this card is good enough that we should just murder it and go here. Murder, go. Especially because we're going to get back Murder with our Scholar if we can make it to 7 mana. Do they have a Scholar? No, they have an Epicure of Blood. And we can't find our 5th land, but we keep finding plays at least, so we're going to pin down the Epicure and go. There's a little hitch, a little pause there. Let's see. Let's see if there's a pause here after we attack. Yeah, all right, so they've got 2 mana, maybe Anticipate, trying to figure out what at instant speed Oppo might have. They have something for 2 blue at instant speed. Unsummon? Yeah, maybe they didn't want to unsummon either of these at this point. We got our 5th land, finally. No value in playing it yet, though. It doesn't change what our options are. I'm going to send in the Aerialist and the Lynx. If they want to trade off the Lynx again, I think that's fine. Gives us more recursion targets, etc. And we're trying to get them dead. They're at 12. Huh. Befuddle was not what they had because they only had 2 mana available, so they do have something else. Again, I don't mind that Befuddle. That's fine. We're gonna get this Boreal Elemental down under the counter magic possibilities now, which feels good. And they got a big 4/4 that can smack us for 4, but we're at 20. They're at 10, and we are clocking for 5 a turn in the air that they currently can't stop. Yeah, it does feel like Unsummon, right? I think we're up against an Unsummon. And we'll see if it's going to be fast enough for them. Okay, land is good because we have double Frostlinks. We could Blood for Bones or Soul Salvage and Frostlinks. Probably just Soul Salvage and Frostlinks for now. And then we're threatening 2-turn clock because we tap down the Seer. They don't even have a chump here, and then they have to fall back. We assume they have an Unsummon, or we're going to make them have to use it, basically. And this is actually okay that their auto tap is screwing us because we are going to cast a Frostlinks this turn, so that's fine mana. Maybe we want a Vulture for more in the air rather than like another Frostlinks. Although if we get another Frostlinks, we get to tap down anything else they could play that blocks in the air. So it's an interesting question. I think 2 Frostlinks is correct. Then we have stuff to stop 2 flyer blockers over the course of the next couple turns. You can do it, but generally when people set it to manual to full control like this, so it says hold full control. When there's a hold full control going on, it stops even more. Like it stops all the time. So if someone's trying to bluff you with a hold full control, like there's all of these stops that just come out of the woodwork, and there's pause, 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 pause. If there's just the one little pause, it usually actually does just mean that they have something like that. I will opportunistically chill meme on Frost Links and that kind of thing, but since it's not the actual chill bringer, I'm not going to do it 100% of the time. Double unsummon. Okay. In this case, we'll go ahead and trade with the thief. Six mana. We can go Aerialist Frostlinks. And I think now we want to actually pin the 4/4. Aerialist blocks the same things Boreal Elemental does. It's a little annoying, the double unsummon. They use a lot of card resources to do that, but they have pulled it into more of a race here. And I'm suddenly feeling a little bit more defensive than I was moments ago, when I thought they had 1 unsummon, not 2. Yeah, Diablo, there are little places to throw in a full control to try and send that message. All right, they racing. Anticipate 4. We have 6. We go down to 4 lands to find a 5th, and then on 5 lands we play a Boreal Elemental, and then we have play the next turn, or we Blood for Bones after combat here. One of these survives. If we Blood for Bones, we can Blood for Bones and anticipate this turn, even if we don't find a land. I think we're going to Blood for Bones and get back more Frost Links to keep the Epicure down. So we're going to attack with both. They can trade Sprite off for the Frost Links. If they want to do that, that's fine. Ideally, though, they let the Frost Links through. No, it looks like they're not going to do that. All right, so they're going to trade off for the Frost Links. And we could just, actually with that play, they're going to manifold and get in that for 4. Let's let them get the Epicure in for a turn and just, I'm going to anticipate for a land and play the Boreal Elemental. I think we're safe enough to do that here. Puts a lot of pressure on the board. Unlikely that there's no land in our top 4, right? Or it's only top 3. Well, backup plan, Blood for Bones, okay? But we're gonna look for land. And yeah, I'm gonna take land and cast the Boreal. Because next turn we get to Blood for Bones, anything we want. Let's see, if we get another land even, we could play the Cutthroat and Blood for Bones it. I don't know what they're up to here, but I don't feel like I can just take it. What could they have that they're punishing us with? Could be a Blade Brand. Yeah, there might have been other lines there, but I'm also on a clock situation where I didn't feel like I had enough time to... yeah, it could be Cutthroat too, but we can't just take it. We have stuff to do. I feel, again, okay with this as well. Yeah, Disfigure wasn't bad for us there at all. It was just the Cutthroat play. It was pretty seeable. We could leave the Aerialist, because we're now in a spot where they get the Manifold Key, making something unblockable. I like Aerialist back. Well, actually, maybe we go Fathom Fleet and then sack the Aerialist and Lynx. Yeah, we're going to Blood for Bones. I'm just trying to figure out what. Because what we can do is play the Cutthroat for no value and then Blood for Bones it. Or then Blood for Bones the Aerialist and at least have a 3/3 and then plus whatever we put back into play. And it gives us an attack. So I'm going to attack. And we'll try to set up a spot where one thing is frozen, and if they try to make the other thing unblockable, our crackback is just too much for them. But one goes to hand. We could also just double Frost. Yeah, let's start here. We're obviously taking one Frost Lynx. The question is, are we just taking two? Yeah, let's go Lynx and Lynx. Pin down the big one. Then Fathom Fleet for no value. Now we're showing 5, and if this is a land and they draw a land, we just have the game won. The question is, what is this and what's on top of their library? Ostensibly good for us, depending on what they can come up with here. Looks like the answer is nothing, and we're going to attack in, and we have Siphon even if they manage to take out the Cutthroat, so I don't see how they win from here. Top decking the Siphon made it easy, but even in that case, we have Frost Link, Scholar. You know, we have ways to not die there. Hey, Fool Auto. GG Oppo. Were we supposed to attack first? Robert, the Lynx was summoning sick. Oh, maybe we were because the Manifold. Yeah, maybe we just got lucky and top decked. I'll take it. Sure, Craig, what's up? Hey, Magnus, good game. Top deck into top deck. I could tap one with links, but the other would untap, right? And then... All right, keeping this. Then I don't remember, Robert. It's possible I missed an attack. You know it's in my range for sure. I thought I attacked all the times I could there. Unless it was, like, too scary to attack. Too high risk. Have to go back and look. I don't remember it. Well, protection against half our deck, but not protection against frost lynxes. So we'll start there. Apostle actually really annoying for us. We're very much a graveyard recursion deck, and the Apostle says, nah, we're going to stop you from doing that. Here, I'm just going to siphon the Thief. I'm not going to mess around. Let's kill that thing dead, get in for 2. Maybe we can get him to trade a Frost Lynx off for that Apostle. Really don't want to deal with that Apostle. We'll tap that down, though. Here, I'll give you one of these now. Had enough of these. Where did it go?
All right, everyone, chill.
Well, that might be actually good for us, because it means they'll probably be willing to put Apostle into, like, maybe they didn't want to trade their Apostle, but they'll be willing to attack with it as a 3/4, and we can try and Blade Brand it. Because then we get to Blade Brand the Frost Lynx, and then we don't care about the Pro Black. So that's the plan here. Although to encourage the attack, I'm going to send in one of the Lynxes so that it looks like they have a good attack the other direction. And they may use their powers here to get rid of the one Lynx, but if we can, man, if we can Blade Brand away this Apostle, I'll be so happy right now. And yeah, I'll even give him a Thief attack. The Apostle is far worse for our game plan than that Thief. Some risk involved here. We're going to be targeting our own creature with a cantrip instant into open mana and 5 cards. If they blow us out here by killing the Lynx in response, maybe Soul Salvage is still enough for us to salvage the game, but it's going to make it a lot more difficult. All right. Now, they probably have soul salvages of their own, so we're not necessarily done with this Apostle yet, but it's nice, given the theme of our deck, to have that out of the way. We could play the Scholar, but it just trades off with the Thief. Maybe that's okay. What do we get for the Scholar? We get Blade Brand and Siphon. We could also Tomebound and... loot, but I think if we wait, I'm going to go Scholar, because if we can trade off and still have the Soul Salvage, and if we wait till we get a land, playing the Lich gets better, because then we can loot away some land. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 2-for-1 here on getting a couple spells back, and then we'll happily try and trade off this Thief and eventually get our Scholar back and let the value train leave the station. They've got a reasonable value engine of their own here. I'm going to try and disrupt it here. 7 mana, we can Siphon and Lich, and probably just Lich away at Anticipate. And then this becomes a 3/3, and the Lich can at least trade with it, and then we have Soul Salvage nonsense to get going with. So let's go with Lich first. See what we draw. Maybe we just draw a land. Ooh. Okay. I mean, they know we have the Blade Brand. Eventually, this is going to be a problem. But we could Moat Piranhas and Blade Brand, or just get rid of the Anticipate and still have the Blade Brand. I'm going to get rid of the Anticipate, and I'm going to play the Piranhas, and then we just have a Blade Brand that I'm happy to use here. Like, even if we make this a 3/3, it's still going to trade with all these anyway. Thanks, Marsh. We'll see you later. And what's up, Real Zug? Welcome. One comes in, one goes out. All right. Well, you know we're doing this. Try and see what they got. I mean, they knew we had it. And they know we have the Siphon too. But I think I'm going to go with Soul Salvage Aerialist here, and then we have a Siphon up next turn. We're going to get Scholar and Lynx. Could get Scholar and Piranhas. No, Scholar and Lynx. Yeah, Scholar and Piranhas, we can cast it now. Scholar and Lynx, we wait a turn. Definitely getting Scholar. And I'm just going to get Piranhas and play it, because we're going to get Soul Salvage back anyway if we resolve our Scholar. So might as well use all our mana here. No Mind Rot, no Mind Rot. Oh man, Mind Rot would be a brutal, sudden thing to see. Icon of Ancestry. Choose a creature type. And they're choosing humans. Humans, I guess. +1 on that, and they can pay 3 and look for some more humans. Super interesting. Well, we're going to try and just eat the Splicer and then Siphon the Mystic at this point. Or Siphon the Sentinel. That, yeah, we don't care about that too much. What I care about is if they find a Soul Salvage of their own. That's what I don't want them to do. We have 9 mana. If we use 7 on Scholar, we have 2 left over. We could even get a Blade Brand and Anticipate and have Blade Brand. That's not the worst idea, given that Blade Brand wins combat here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We're going to Scholar for... Ooh, gotta not get screwed by auto tap, though. Right, and then we have Anticipate. We have Blade Brand and Soul Salvage to get back. Sorry, I meant Soul Salvage. Anticipate is what I saw. That would be it would have been terrible if I'd taken Anticipate. We want Soul Salvage and Blade Brand. Soul Salvage Scholar is the big combo, right? At 7, can we afford to attack? Maybe we're actually back on D right now. Yeah, let me back on D, have the Blade Brand ready. Can't really attack with the Sentinel or they just lose it. We'll happily trade off the Scholar again. If they're going into Icon mode, that's probably good for us. I doubt their deck is like 12 humans or whatever. It's probably going to miss most often when they activate it. Okay. So what I'm here to do, Robert, scare you with looming punts. I'm going to cycle on my own Tomebound. Not that they had much they could do, but, you know, just to be sure. All right, we're going to swamp 4, 5, 6. We get 7 after this anyway? Jeez. Clean living, etc. Yeah, so like Soul Salvage. Oh wait, we want the Scholar to die before we salvage again, right? If we want to keep that loop going. Maybe we don't care. Get enough value here and it's fine. Just don't know if we want to end the Scholar loop. I think we do. I think there's a lot going on here. Let's get... oh, wait. I want to do it very carefully, though. 1, 2 blue to get Aerialist and Lynx. Then we Aerialist. Actually, then I attack with Scholar. And if they're going to do that, we're going to do Aerialist Lynx instead of Aerialist Siphon. Well, the thing is we didn't need the... Like, we have all sorts of tools to deal with this Sentinel, so I didn't feel that the Blade Brand was essential. And if they're in Ancestry mode, like, they're just spending 3 mana a turn here to do basically nothing, and then we get to Lynx here and get in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already. Or heck, we don't even need the Lynx. We just siphon the Protector. Lynx the Sentinel again. Swing away. And Skelly. Oh yeah, I could have... well, they could have blocked if I didn't Lynx the creature, if I didn't siphon the creature. Did I miss lethal? Oh yeah, sure, Lynx the creature. Good point. Sorry, I missed lethal. Gave him an extra draw. You never want to do that, but I played too quickly. Hey, Kruzica. Yeah, it is a cool deck. I should pilot it better. But we got the win there. It's a balance, Robert. It's a balance. I'm playing too fast to optimize my absolute win percentage, but I think I'm playing an appropriate pace for trying to be an entertaining content creator, you know? But it's a balance. We're going to keep this. Looks like a great opener. We get Skeleton into Burglar into Lynx, and then we have Blood for Bones for some nonsense there. All right, want Aerialist off the top so we can do the Blood Burglar Aerialist play I was talking about before. Not to be. And here's one of those awkward spots of, do you play a Frost Lynx for no value? Given that we have nothing else going on, might want to wait and give this a chance to be a spell. What does it do for damage? If we play this out now, we get 2 more on the table, but then they play a blocker and we have 0 attacks. And then it's like, what did that do for us? We can't attack. If we wait and they play a good blocker, we Lynx and we actually get in for an extra 3. And then we only regret that if something better than Frost Lynx comes along for us to play on 4. That is possible. We could end up with a regret because we find a nice 4-drop we want to go with, but I like holding it back. I think even though it doesn't build out our board, it actually sets us up for a greater amount of damage by waiting until we can Lynx something. All right, and then we did draw something, but not that we wanted to play on 4, so it worked out for us. This is exactly what I'm talking about. By waiting, even though it seems like we failed to develop our board, which would ostensibly slow us down, by waiting we're getting in an extra 3, possibly 5 damage, depending on what they find here. I'm assuming they find another good blocker, though. All right, Scholar is nice. Means it's going to do some work for us. I think what we're going to do here, though, we don't have a good attack. No attack here does much of anything. So we're going to say no attacks and actually try and 2-for-1 ourselves, Frost Lynx and Burglar, or some combination, maybe just any skeleton plus either of these 2 for the Crasher, if we can pull it off. They're attacking with just the Crasher. That suggests they don't have a trick, because if they had a trick, they would attack with the just the Crasher means they didn't like what they saw with the Tracker, because Tracker could be 1-for-1, whereas although Crasher is technically 1-for-1 because we're getting the skeleton back, I think what we do is pile on. I mean, this is with the Season of Growth, we know they have targeted stuff too. That's what's weird. I would expect that if they had a target here, they would have sent the Tracker as well. That's the idea, though, Merc. Like, we have a value engine coming with these 3 cards, so creatures in the yard doesn't hurt. But frankly, if they blow us out and like their creature doesn't die and all of ours go to the yard, that could be rough. Then again, we also can get the skeleton back right away. So I'm going to put it all on, and we're going to make them have it. Yeah, Shock. But that's why I put all 3 on, because then Shock still gets the trade done. All right, let's Lynx and salvage. Oh yeah, no, I do want to suicide our guys, but on defense, on defensive duty, not offensive duty. Top deck a land, we can Scholar back the salvage, then start Blood for Bones. Could use some removal to be looping through all this. Hey, removal. We can't get it back yet, but just what I asked for, so hard to complain there. We get Burglar, Lynx, and Disfigure up. Only if they charge us correctly, though. What do we want to do? We can set up Disfigure plus Lynx to take out Crasher. I like keeping the Tracker tapped. And I'm going to send in now. It's telegraphed. What are you going to do, Oppo? Take it or don't. I don't care. Because you're just going to face the same decision on offense. Maybe they'll think we had murder or something and that it's not disfigure. Certainly gonna try and disfigure that thing. Same offer with the value engine we have coming. Have to hope. Don't save it. Wow, discipline from Oppo. Let's see. We'll go skeleton and then blood for bones. The skelly. Yeah, it's true. I could have tried that play before damage and save a point. Quite reasonable. Don't think it's going to matter this game. This is a matter of control or not, as opposed to life totals. But still a worthy comment. Return Frost Links to the battlefield and Blood Burglar to hand. Kind of like tapping the tracker again. If they want to use tricks or pump on the Trailblazer, given our, again, anticipated loop, we do need another land here. That's a powerful magic card. Cavalier of Thorns. Boy, still need some help on the land front, but we can put a bunch of stuff out. Woof. Card draw and 3 lands. Kind of everything we wanted right there. But that happens. Okay, that's enough of that sound effect. Oh, come on. It's going to be windy in here for the rest of the game, Arena? Why does Cavalier of Thorns produce wind? I guess it looks pretty windy in that picture. Two growth cycles in the yard. Kind of want to put everything in the world on the Trailblazer and let them attack, let them get 6 from the Cavalier right now. With the Season of Growth, chances are decent they have another growth cycle, but I think we got to try. Certainly if we find a land, we end up in decent shape anyway. So this, or we could just do Cavalier. I'm gonna start here. 4 for 1. Yeah, there you go. I mean, Krauser, what can we do, though? I said if they have it, like, what can we do? I said it was likely they do. But we gotta make them have it. Lich is nice here if we're not gonna get land, although we're gonna play it and probably loot away whatever we draw, even if it is land. Because we want this Scholar in hand, or we're just not gonna, we have no chance. But we made him use it. That could have been a game winner, you know, plus a million. Yeah, it's true. I could have activated Skeleton and discarded. That was a mistake. Would rather have the Aerialist than the Skeleton, so I should have done that. Good call, Windraven. Well, that's not the only thing we were playing around, Robert. They could have had different. They could have had a shock and a pump, for example. You know, what if their play was pump this once and have a shock? You know, we were playing around more than just a third season of growth. But yeah, didn't get this one. They had all the tools all the time. Can you shut up now, please? Arena, end this game and stop it with the windstorm. Oh my lord, fix that bug, Wizards. That's awful. Honestly, I didn't do the math on a third growth cycle. It's possible if we mathed it out and said, oh, a third growth cycle makes that a 9/9. How do we, what things do we want to play around and how? Maybe we come up with like blocking with 3 instead of 4, but it clearly didn't matter there. It was also a spot where like a third growth cycle, given their board state, was just so powerful that it was going to be hard to overcome it if they had it, no matter how they used it. Well, we're guaranteed at least 50-50 here with our 3 wins so far, but I want to get more than that. We're going to keep this because we have card draw on 3. Any land gives us a draw, and a swamp makes this hand actively quite good. We're going first, so that's not great, but it also means by going first, if our first play is a turn 3 Winged Words, we don't have to discard. The Piranha is doing its job. It's blocked and traded, you know, it's filling our 2 slot. Not an amazing card, but it's just it's a hole filler here that is doing a good job that we need. Can't murder that yet. I'm gonna lich here. See what we find. Trouble is we like all these cards. Might have to pitch the Frost Links if we find, like I think Frost Links are our worst card here. And I really want that swamp. And I don't want to be greedy about it. Vulture is another option. But red-green, I like getting a flyer down. They kind of has to use removal on it or show us a spider. So, and Woodland Champ can get big out of nowhere, but we do have a murder for that as well. So I'm going to ditch the links. Also, we can just block with the Lich as a Death Toucher. Chump endlessly with a Skeleton. So our ground game is pretty good here, so let's keep a flyer. Oppo stuck on 2. We're going to try and take advantage of that mercilessly. We'll pitch the land and just look for more here. Although maybe we'll Vulture now. We've played a land this turn, so let's Vulture to pressure them while they're mana screwed, and then if we don't hit our land drop next turn, we can Wing Words and try to find the land drop then. With any card, you know, that you put in your deck, you got to be able to explain what the job of that card is, and the job of the Piranha is to help us survive until we can have the value train leave the station. Now they've got a double block on the Lich. I'm going to save... I'm willing to use a murder in this case. We're going to attack with everything, and if they want to double block the Lich, it's not going to go well for them. All right. I was fine with throwing away the skeleton. It's so easy to get back. I wanted to put them to the challenge of how they were going to block there. Ooh. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have played the land. One of my bad habits. Yeah, because now I don't want to discard any of this, right? Let's discard. Yeah, I think you might be right. Words is the thing we don't need here. I'm just gonna Cutthroat finish off the champ. Makes it look like we planned it. Honestly, one of the reasons I played the land is because I really thought they were going to block the Lich. I did. Oh, I thought I had a chance. I heard what you said. I thought I had a chance to do it, though. I thought I would be able to do it in response, but it didn't let me respond. So... Well, if I keep both of the expensive removal spells, we can't cast them both in one turn. I like ditching Siphon here. Well, I actually like just ditching Murder, maybe, crazy as that is. Because then we can 2-spell next turn. Siphon and Disfigure. Yeah, Siphon to Face is interesting. So, amazingly, you're going to ditch a Murder and go with an Elemental. Sometimes you just don't need Murder. All right, let's actually... Can we just win here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can't just win off of the damage in our hand. They don't have good blocks anywhere. Let's Disfigure... I like just Disfigure, Siphon, attack, and... Although we could bring back the skeleton this time and do that correctly. I'm going to start with a Disfigure of the Risen Reef. Oh, they've got maybe... Huh. Oh, they've got Prismite that could be causing the pause. And then now we just get to attack with everything. And I will, before blocks, return the skeleton if they leave the Lich unblocked. Huh. They didn't want to save their other dude. They wanted to win combat. That's fine. Ditch that. I think they're in big trouble. I think they felt like they needed to win combat against a creature. They needed to use this as removal. I understand that. And that gets to take out our Vulture, but I still think... it keeps them alive for a turn, taking out the Vulture. Surprised they let us untap. I mean, not much we can do about it, but now, you know, I don't know. I guess there's nothing blue-black can do about an activated ability. Not any pump I can think of in those colors. Should we Winged Words first? In case there's more to help us just win on the spot. No. We could Aerialist... Well, let's just attack and start there. If we play the Aerialist first, the Lich could make it bigger, but I don't think it's going to be the difference maker here. sure what they're up to with not using the Ember Hauler to kill the Vulture. That's weird, but we'll take it. Good style points, Oppo. A noble death. All right, made it to 4 wins. I like being above 50% no matter what. That feels good. Always 5th win makes me feel great because you jump from this 450 gem reward to a 650. That 200 gem leap is really nice. I'm going to take a little bio break here, though. Get a new beverage, and we'll come back and see if we can't climb to 7 in the next 3 matches, or whether we end it a little early in terms of max wins. Be right back. Hey, gang. Otterslick, I tried to say GG, but then I realized I might be talking over my own ad break that I started. But if you didn't hear me, GG's. GG. Thanks for the good game. Let's try and get us a 5th win. Ah, I get it now. Otterslick. I was trying to figure out why you weren't using the deal 2, but that explains it. All right, looks good. No 2-drop, but Lich on 3 is fantastic. If we pick up any more lands, we have pretty easy discard of lands. If we get nothing but spells, we have decisions to make. Oh, thanks, yeah. You don't want me to play like this just the whole day? Hold on. There we go. A little better. Moat Piranhas, you're late. And that Weaponsmith scares the heck out of me, I gotta tell you. But we're going to start with a Tomebound Lich. Did Oppo stop? No, they didn't stop an upkeep to go fetch something. Let's see what they... We're slow deck, which is the problem. Depending on, like, basically whatever they have in their deck to get with the Weaponsmith, if we don't find removal right away, they're just going to get it all. And depending on how many bows they have, that could be trouble.
All right, everyone, chill.
Might have to do a no-value Cutthroat here. Keep the pressure up here. Yeah, I think so. I like to get value out of my Cutthroats, but right now we just need a 3/3 for 4 to show up on the board and help put some pressure on this Weaponsmith opponent. Yes. Arigato. Let's see. If they double block, what happens? We get to take out the Raptor or the Lynx, or we get to take out both. Yeah, we attack with both here. I like all of our situations if they choose to block. I do want to make it to 7 land for the Scholar, but with the Winged Words and the Anticipate, I think we can get there, so let's keep pitching land. Right now, though, I think I'll go Winged Words into Piranha, most likely. There's a Blade Brand, doesn't do anything for us now, so we'll set up Piranhas. And here it is doing its job. You know, it's not sexy, it's not amazing, it's not whatever, but it does sit here and block a Frost Lynx, you know? I just find that 3-3 for 2, if you're trying to play a defensive ground game, is fine. It's just fine. It's not amazing, but it simply does the job of clogging the ground for cheap. Generally hope to not play them. I'm excited to play them in Blue-White Skies decks, where you really are just trying, like, this is your turn 2 play, and then you're just trying to go hog in the air. Oh, I thought you were just joking, Spider. I'm glad it... Did you resolve it, though? Glad you figured it out. That's weird. How does my channel show the BRB screen to you and you alone? I don't know. Maybe frozen on your end or something. Stone Golem, but they didn't even need the Weaponsmith to cast it. Blade Brand plus Skelly is a nice place to land here. No dead creatures yet for the Soul Salvage, but again, we're starting to assemble Value Town combos. If we attack with the Lich now, what's likely to happen? They don't want to block with the Weaponsmith, or we kill that. We eat the Lynx, and we're happy to trade for the Golem given our hand. So I think we attack with the Lich and then stay back on the other stuff. And if they come at us with the Golem, we have Blade Brand potentials. We just have to watch out for this Vial. We don't want to Blade Brand anything that they can Vial out from under us. All right, they're just giving up the Lynx. I'm okay with that. Maybe they're going to do some recursion or something. Maybe they just don't want to give us another loot. But we are going to Skelly, and then we have Blade Brand and Anticipate. We could Anticipate while the shields are down. But if they're going to counter it, maybe we can actually use this to try and draw out a counter before we play the Blade Brand. Oh, that's what they were doing. Sure, makes sense. That's cool too, though. We got Soul Salvage. Now I understand their play better. Wish I had seen that. I was even talking about being aware of the Dragonfire, and then I forgot to factor it into my decisions. I think I still make that attack there, but I like to make it eyes wide open, and my eyes were squinted a little bit there because I didn't process that interaction. Mike wants to attack both. I didn't attack both Mike because I was trying to keep disguised the Blade Brand and hope that they get aggro with the Stone Golem. Looks like they're not going to, though, so I'm going to attack with everything next turn. And we will Anticipate at the end of this one. Uh-oh, 5 mana, 3/4 flying, hard to kill? What are they doing? Oh, they didn't make it to main phase yet. I've done that. Oppo. Oppo doing the mana cha-cha. Not sure what they're trying to represent or say hold up. Maybe they're trying to represent shock. Well, I had the right card called. Let's... Uh, 5 mana. Frost Lynx seems pretty good, actually, given this board. We do want to get to Scholar of Ages pretty soon. We only get Winged Words back. We'll eventually get Soul Salvage, though. I'm going to take Frost Lynx. A little greedy. But we'll get this Scholar out, I think, eventually. All right, well, let's make him have something for our elemental here. But I guess now let's attack first, because we could end up Blade Branding happily. I'm going to send both. The skeleton is somewhat of a throwaway here. It's likely to be blocked and eaten. Another skeleton, but we're just gonna Frost Lynx the big Boreal here. Oppo, oh, I guess they can tap this. That's what's going on. Alright, the first of the bows. They've had a weaponsmith out for a long time to only have one piece of equipment from it, so I'm actually okay with that. Just gotta make sure, if we get run over by 2 bows, it could be trouble. Like now, for example.
All right, everyone, chill.
It's even good against Boreal because they can ping it twice and then first strike it to death. So we're in a bit of a pinch. But for now, we can Boreal and drop a skeleton. We're at 16 life, so we're not dead soon. But we do need to do some stuff here. I guess we attack with this skeleton. It does mean they can't really attack with the Raptor unless they're willing to commit both pings onto the Boreal Elemental. So they can't mow down our skeletons without letting us eat their Raptor with the Elemental. Gonna have to take 5. Can't really Scholar back much for help. We have Blade Brand, Anticipate, and Winged Words. So Blade Brand could help in the air, but then it becomes telegraphed since they know we get it back. Now we need Blood for Bones, and I'll show you why I don't like Sleep. But now we're going to have to Soul Salvage Aerialist. At least Aerialist also does not die to the Raptor, but we are getting close to it. I suppose we could Soul Salvage Frost Lynx instead of Aerialist, if we thought that was best. Or even Soul Salvage Tomebound. Certainly we'll start here, and then we can decide what creature to play. Yeah, Cutthroat's not going to do anything for us. So we want Lich and Lynx. And I think we just want to Lynx the... You want the Aerialist first, Mike? But if we Lich first, we can Aerialist next turn and potentially even make it 3-4, which would be relevant for us, I think. Like, I want to try and set up this Aerialist getting big enough to actually stop their bow action. Of course, if we Tomebound, we have to pitch something. We'll draw and pitch. But that's... Keep pings in the air. Yeah, I suppose if we Lynx, that just dies anyway, right? To that. Okay. Alright, we'll Aerialist. I'm not loving our spot here, though. Definitely trouble. This could be where it ends. I should have done this. Should have attacked before playing the Aerialist, but we can get in for 1 here. Might as well. Interesting. I don't know what that does for them. Not blocking no matter what. I guess an extra point here did nothing, so they figured they'd throw it somewhere. All right, now how do we not lose? We can Lich and Lynx. We Scholar, we get back some stuff. We can get back a Blade Brand. It doesn't really help us, though. We could take out the Boreal Elemental in a trade with the Blade Brand, at least. So maybe it does do something, but it's feels too slow. So probably need to Lich and Lynx. So we'll start with the Lich and see what we loot. Disfigure, very interesting. Let's go ahead and pitch. Oh man, if we pitch the island, it's just obvious. But I mean, sorry, if we pitch, yeah, if we pitch island, and don't play the Lynx, it's pretty obvious. But I think it's what we've got to do. We could pitch the Lynx since we kind of know it's going to die anyway. But we're at 6 life, so having the Lich seems important. I think we have to pitch the island. And then... and I'm actually going to pass it. And I want to disfigure after they leave their main phase, but before they declare attackers. Or we could wait. Let's see. If they... do that ping again, we could set up a spot where we disfigure the elemental and actually get to eat it. This is an interesting spot. I wonder if they'll do anything before moving to combat. Because we could disfigure the raptor before combat, and then they, because it's after main phase, they can't re-equip the bows, but then they still have an elemental attack. And we would just have to take it and go to 3. But then the raptor would be dead, and then we could Lynx the elemental, and we'd be safe in the air for another turn. Okay, well that kind of just answers it, right? Now we just have to take out the raptor, but we'll still make him move to out of main phase. So now they're out of main phase, so we can disfigure, and the elemental can't kill a bunch of our stuff or kill one of our skeletons. It's gonna be a tough one to win. We're not out of it yet, but we are not in a good spot. Now we have to just absolutely Lynx the elemental. But we can attack with the Lich first. Maybe there's something better than one of these two waiting for us on top of the library. So let's send in what we've got. Freeze that down. We'll go ahead and play the burglar then. Part of what we want to do is increase our life total, get out of range of this one or two swings. If we can get to elemental is 3 swings away, that's pretty good for our... Because right now we're on track to get to 7 life, which makes it a 3-turn elemental clock. This is going to get to eat something, but we're going to swing away on the ground. No way we're not attacking into that profit. Stone Golem makes it a little less appealing. All right. I still think we need the life, though, and they're going to get one of those dead. Like, the Lich is going to kill something, and then the burglar gets eaten elsewhere. Keep back. So definitely this. I want the life gain here. This is practically free because we can get it back. Then I think maybe we leave the others for chumps and trades. This sets up piranhas plus skeleton beats the stone golem, and we still threaten. Like, they're not going to take all this, I don't think. So yeah, I'm going to do this. This is my attack. Love it. All right. Pick us a winner, Bobby. What are we doing about that elemental? That's the key, right? So we need soul salvage back. Do we have dead frost lynxes yet? Not yet, but we need a soul salvage. And might just need winged words to try and find murder. Like, is murder in the yard yet? No, I think we're digging for murder. So that we could take anticipate, which gets us actually deeper. Given that we're looking for one card, maybe we actually want anticipate instead of winged words. This gets us 2 cards towards murder. This gets us 3 cards towards murder. So yeah, I'm going to do soul salvage plus anticipate. Yeah, disfigure reduces damage, but I'm not interested in a temporary solution to the elemental. We need, well, but what are those 2 cards going to matter? Like, we'll still get the best card. If we don't find murder, we still get the best card. I think murder is so important, we're going to go anticipate and go digging as deep as we can for our hard removal. That's actually not bad. It buys us time because we get to salvage it back. And we found a winged words anyway. So let's see, 7 mana. This is tricky, and I think requires a scholar attack first. Do we have Blade Brand? Any in the deck? No Blade Brands left in the deck. Yeah, we can get Lynx back now, but I want to try and have him block the Scholar too, so we get that back. Let's do this. If we had a Blade Brand, I might anticipate so that we could try and find a Blade Brand to win combat. Or do we have any instants that matter here? Yeah, there's no instants that matter here, so we're just going to take this. I mean, we're going to accept this suicidal attack. And soul salvage for yeah, I guess the safe players soul salvage, tap it down, and we'll anticipate for the murderer in the future. And I want Scholar and Lynx in this case. Oppo pausing without any activated abilities, that could mean, I don't know, could mean an anticipate of their own or something. I think they would have used it there, though. Maybe they're just waiting to counter, maybe it's a counter spell and they're waiting to counter the Lynx. No, Lynx works. Not liking the Cutthroat because it can't stop or kill the elemental. Right now, I'm concerned about losing to this elemental, and everything I'm doing is geared towards not dying to the Air Force from Oppo here. So we could have gotten Cutthroat and could have, like, killed the golem, but then what? Then we go to 1. Did auto tap get us? What can we do for 1? I didn't even think about it because I didn't think there was anything we could do. How did auto tap get us? If they kill the skeleton, we double block. I mean, no matter what they do, we double block. Surprised they killed the skeleton when we can get it back. Piranhas would at least mostly stay dead. Okay, we have some chances here. I'm going to start with an anticipate. I just want to find murder. I think. Well, let's see. Let's make sure we don't have a for sure out otherwise. So 8 mana. We spend 7 on the Scholar, and then that's not enough to do anything else. So that's not an answer. So I guess that is my answer. We anticipate. Start with anticipate, then we'll try Winged Words. Hey, look, it's murder most foul. Wouldn't mind that blood for bones, but murder is what we were looking for. And they haven't shown a counter to this point, and we need the mana here to pay for the tax. Come on. Get it dead. Get it dead. Yes! That was huge. Huge murder. We have Winged Words and some recycling stuff, loops, so I'm going to play land. Hey, David, welcome. Good time zone to you. Diamond Knight off the top in the late game. Doesn't look so good. Cardboard Live is working for many, but not all. It's working weird. Like, to me, it's showing wrong cards in some cases. No, now it's working. I don't know. Working to me. All right, where are we at? Okay, we found land. We want to play land every turn. We want to, if we Scholar back, yeah, we can Scholar back now and get playables. Scholar back and get the, I know we have the Disfigure, so we're going to get Disfigure. Is there any other 1 mana? No, but what else do we want? We want the Soul Salvage still. Disfigure and the Salvaging of Souls. This keeps the Salvager keeps Soul Salvage keeps the Scholar loop alive, but again, sometimes you just want, like we did it before, where we just kind of bailed on that loop because we were getting what we wanted. We were going to win the game, so we didn't need to loop. We could just win. But in this case, I still wanted the loop available, so I went for the Scholar. Or went for the Soul Salvage as opposed to, like, murder. Oh, did I forget to play a land? I forgot to play last turn. Oops. Let's start with the words. Mike on the delay with the oops. All right, they haven't shown counters. Let's try and get the win. All right, got there. Nice. Love making it to 5 wins. Right back. Thanks, Jikerman. Pretty far from double black, but we can keep anticipate Winged Words Frostlinks. That seems fine. All right, cool. We found a swamp. That makes me more inclined to use a anticipate on action rather than trying to find black mana. Now, especially Oppo not showing blue, not expecting them to drop an island here, so we're going to just wait and anticipate an end of turn. Keep them nervous. Scholar or 2 skellies. What do we want skeletons for? We don't have any skeleton shenanigans at this point, so I'm going to take Scholar. We have 5 of the 7 lands needed for that, plus a Winged Words. Yeah, we're totally going to cast Scholar on time now. I'm going to go with an Aerialist, although they might just murder it. Perhaps I'll start with a Frost Lynx, just to lead with a... You know, we're a control-y deck trying to win a long game, so it's not about beating down with the Aerialist immediately. It's about controlling the board. So I like pinning down their Inquisitor for a turn, and with this mana left open, if they've left open Murder, they would snap off the Aerialist, but maybe they'll have some doubts as to whether or not they want to use their mana and a card on like something like a Frost Lynx. Vulture gives us another alternative to the Aerialist, and I think I like that. I'm not sure what they're up to here. No plays for 3 at all, and maybe no plays on 4. We're going to Vulture. Vulture helps fill up the graveyard for the Scholar. And then next turn sets us up for Winged Words plus Aerialist if the Vulture survives, or Aerialist into Winged Words even, so it works either direction. Point is to have a flyer next turn to cheapen the Winged Words. Only 1 spell to the graveyard. There was a Blade Brand that hit the yard that we could get back with the Scholar. Mike wants the Aerialist to block. I liked filling up the yard more for the Scholar. I suppose we could have done that next turn, though, to a similar effect. It does continue to put our worst threats out for a similar amount of damage, so it kind of tempts them to use their removal on our lesser creatures. I know. I just didn't care about the damage to sequence it in this order, but maybe Mike's probably right. He's usually right. Like getting cards into the graveyard for Scholar is good, but we had a couple more turns to do it. So we could have played the better defensive creature and still eventually stockpiled, milled ourselves for Scholar purposes. So Mike's probably right that a little more optimal to lead with Aerialist last turn. That's true. I forget that the Vulture produces life gain sometimes. Yeah, so definitely sequence that one poorly. But hopefully it doesn't cost us. But to my point, they were saving the murder and they didn't use it on our worst stuff. So they had the discipline to save it. But it sure felt like they were holding up murder all game. That thief is indeed audacious. We are going to hope they're out of removal, stay aggressive. Not going to be blocking Moorland Inquisitors anyway. We could leave one. I guess we could leave. I'm going to leave the links back for a couple reasons. If they take care of our elemental, it gives us a trade on the thief. Even if they don't, it doesn't tempt them to say, well, we're going to send in everything, and then they have to choose between eating an Inquisitor or eating a thief. This gives us eat an Inquisitor with Boreal Elemental, trade thief with the links as a way to defend here. Sure seems like they're saying they do not have a Blade Brand or something, or they would just... I mean, Blade Brand with First Strike is so good, but So it looks like I should be able to eat the Thief with the Elemental, and maybe I can, but the Frost Lynx just runs into first striking Inquisitors anyway, so I'm going to offer the Frost Lynx. The safer creature to block with, and it's kind of a useless creature. It's, for our purposes, maybe more useful in the graveyard than not. Now, obviously, we have a serious problem. But interestingly, there you go. Frost Lynx being in the graveyard is actually going to be okay for now. I don't know if we can beat this in the long run. We're again in a mode of now trying to hunt for our hard removal. Need our murder. But we can... So what we're going to do here is pin it down for a turn, then next turn Scholar for some of the filtering and searching that lets us try and find the removal. Could even go... Oh man, I did this wrong now. Definitely want the Frost Lynx, but if I had waited, I should just waited. It's too late. Well, can I cancel? Oh, maybe I'll cancel. I can cancel. I'm going to do this. It's actually, I'm glad I was able to cancel. This is a much better line. Maybe I should look at my graveyard before taking actions. So we get Cutthroat for the beats, and then we can get whatever we want back in addition. Probably just the Boreal, actually. Maybe they do have a Blade Brand, but we're going to make them have it. Yep, great combo with the Inquisitor, but it's fine for us. We're trying to work our long-term advantage here, so we just want to reduce damage and block where we can. So now we want Soul Salvage, and we'll take a Winged Words. Just get value. Ooh, great play for Oppo. Great play for Oppo. Now we gotta try to murder that and win with what we've got. Let's see, they get 3 of our cards in yard already. That's not great. But let's see about... Okay, let's see. 9 mana. If we spend 5 on the Boreal... That leaves us with 4, which can spend 2 on the Winged Words, which is not enough to then find murder, but we do get a Piranhas. We could Winged Words. I'm going to Winged Words for... full cost, because if we can find a murder in the top 2, we'll murder the Apostle. And then if we don't find it, we'll just play the Boreal. Oh, it's got pro-black. That's a good point. So in that case, since murder's not going to be an answer off the bat, let's make it cheaper. Just have to try to win in the air now. Of course, we're going to find the murder now, right? Oh, no, even better. Given the pro-blackness, the Frost Lynxes kind of help. Could save that for looting. Like, the Piranhas might be better as a looting scenario. I was going to give up the Scholar to just salvage it back, but obviously that's not a good play now. We'll see if they take out the Blade Brand, given that it's actually important to us. Wow, they're going for spells instead of creatures, knowing we have Soul Salvage? That seems odd to me. But maybe they're just afraid of the Blade Brand. Maybe they just know they're going to untap now. It can really just actually take every relevant card in our graveyard before we untap again. But they're out of cards now, so new plan. New plan. Now, well, we could siphon an Inquisitor too. I kind of like saving this for face. Let's freeze 2 Inquisitors, get a good attack in, and then next turn we have... Yeah, next turn, we'll see about next turn. Apply some pressure. You didn't like double links? Why not double links, Mike? We get to attack with these next turn and these stay tapped. They like need to find something off the top here. They're in pretty big trouble. Yeah. Soul Salvage is effectively dead, but it's no longer the game plan. Game plan is this isn't enough for them. Fish has Defender. If it was just a 3/3 for 2 in blue, that would be some powerful card. No worries, Tryptamine. I don't read cards either. Vial is solid, but does not get any of the major stuff. There's our Murder that I was wanting but can't use because of the pro-blackness. Let's start with an attack. Yeah, that's fair, Mike. But, I mean, we get the attacks this turn this way. I'd have to sit down and, like, actually math out which one of our lines produces more attack damage overall. I'm not sure. This deck this card just destroys the synergies we're going for in the deck. It's pretty funny, but well, switch to a new plan. Don't worry about the graveyard. All right, that's awesome. They're giving up on the Apostle now. We actually get to salvage something back. Although I think we'll wait. With them at 7. Actually, why wait? Let's go salvage and then tap down. Well, we can do that next turn too. Almost no matter what. I'm trying, like, we should order things to best handle a good top deck. And I suppose that means leaving our removal back and adding to our attack forces. So I'm going to Soul Salvage for the Frost Links and play it. Pin down an Inquisitor. And now we have a piece of removal for their 1 untap and a piece of removal for anything they draw that doesn't have pro-black or hexproof or whatever. Try the Murder here. think between Siphon and the Murder, I can't think of what this could be to keep us from winning. I love it when I find out 10 minutes later whether Mike blesses my play or not. All right, closing in on 7. Can we get there? I've been doing the Chillbringer occasionally on some of the Frost Lynxes, not every single one. Wow, we overcame serious graveyard hate in our recursion deck, but we got a big flyer down and it went the distance. And here we are, final game of the event, right at noon. Perfect timing for me. Already happy. If we can make 7 wins, fantastic. If we finish at 6-3, we've also had a great run. So we've had fun, had some interesting games. We had a good comeback. Good day of streaming so far. Thank you, Robert. More draft. Maybe we'll start. Maybe what I'll do is let's go and clean up these secondary account. We'll play some more after this and go finish up those lingering drafts on the free-to-play 2 account. Need some blue, but I'm going to keep this. We have a turn 1, turn 3 already in the bag. If we find a single island, it unlocks the best card of our top 3. Thank you, Cardinator. Glad to have you here. Double Scholar is a little heavy on the 7s, but well, if we have to loot, we know we can loot away. No island, so that's unfortunate. Wow, they're pumping, which almost makes me want to just chump here. We'll get the skeleton back eventually. And they're going to use up their whole turn to do it. I like trading skeleton here. I don't know what you think of this play, but if they're going to invest in that pump and let me know about it, I'm just going to do that. Because then I'll start racing with the Mastiff if they want. Shock doesn't take out the Aerialist, so we're not a 1 removal spell away. I'm not going to block here, though. All right, perfect timing. It was like, all right, we really need an island or where our hand is just dead. And I like the links here on the big boy.
All right, everyone, chill.
Heart Piercer Bow goes well with the Siege Breaker. A little combo there. Be nice to find some removal. I'm going to be greedy, though, and anticipate looking for an island. Again, I'm going to anticipate over words, because what I really specifically want is an island. And, although, man, am I being greedy? Surely there's a land in the top 3, right? There's a land in the top 3. There we go. Sad to lose blood for bones, but we'll get it back later with Scholar. You could do your hypergeometric to see what our odds of a land in the top 3 are, but I think it was quite high. Why are we waiting combat to murder? So they don't move the bow. I guess I'll offer the links. Oh, it's bottom? That's too bad. I think we'll be okay if we can make it to 7, though. Scholar with winged words and double murder. All right, now we murder. I don't need to trade. I think we're winning this race. Depends on what they come up with here. But yeah, if they're spending their whole turn, you know, like double pumping a Mastiff, that's great for us. They need to play a creature here, where I'm thrilled. All right, that's good too. I'm gonna start with a winged words though before combat. Yeah, do that. Mike wants to loop Skelly. Next turn, I guess. This smacks of a Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. We're going to accept... Although if it's a Cutthroat, it means the Blood Burglar doesn't have good attacks. I was hoping to get the life gain, but this attack just makes me think... And where they put the damage makes me think Fathom Fleet Cutthroat, which means Burglar has no good attacks, which means I'm going to use it for Mastiff trade now. Oh, it's Uncaged Fury. Well, traded for something at least. And they did have the Cutthroat. Boreal here is the way to go. Yeah, they're out of cards, so I still feel good. See what they find off the top to help. Looking very good if they can not Mind Rot us or something. Even Mind Rot wouldn't be the worst here with the winged words, but... I'm going to take this trade. I don't think they have anything else much going, and our hand is gas. We are so close to just going off here that I don't care about losing the elemental right now. We could be playing the race game and just trying to get them dead before they find answers, but I like this line. Here I'm going to wing words first, and then we have Frost Links as the backup play if we don't find anything we want off of the words. Lich. No, I still like Skelly be aggressive, or sorry, Lynx be aggressive. Although Lich makes me want to hold on to this. No, we need a 7th land for the Aged Scholars no matter what. So I'm going to play the land and freeze down the Mastiff. Now we could Lich. Maybe just Scholar. Let's just Scholar. You know, let's attack and Scholar. Yeah, I'll remember the Skelly for the loot trigger, but I'm just going to Scholar this time. They might just scoop to a Scholar. It gets back such value here. That's a depressing thing to face as Oppo. In fact, I'm going to play the land because we have the Skeleton Lich loop. I like that reminder. So I'm just going to keep playing out land. Yeah. Yep. Nice deck gets there. That was fun. We were close to getting knocked out of this here and there. We had 2 losses for a long time, but the deck was good. And we found our early stuff to survive to our abusive late game. And I'm pretty proud of that pro black win. It's not easy for this deck to win a long game against a deck that's chewing up literally every card in our graveyard. But we did it. We're going to claim our prize. See if we can't find some more mythics in M20. Hey, we did. There's another mythic. And 20 gems on the grind. Make a note of that before I move on. 20 gem grind on M20 free to play. All right. Save those. Although we're not even planning to play much anymore, we'll still save them. We are effectively 4x'd on Eldraine. We don't have the wild cards, all of them yet, or we don't have all of the mythics yet, but we have the wild cards to do it. So what I'm going to do is wait and 4x this account on Eldraine as part of a more staged soapbox screen discussion of account management that is coming up. So yeah, thank you all. Man, Magic has a lot of little funky plays. I find them sometimes. The best of the best find them a lot of the time, most of the time. we're not 4x'd on M20 Mythics, which is why we played M20 here. If we were 4x'd on M20 Mythics, I would have played it on the other account, which we're going to go to now. Actually, I should here. I meant to say, thanks for watching, YouTube folks. I may put up these loose games I'm about to play as just kind of some bonus content. We'll see how, if they're good games, I will. If they're just kind of boring games, I won't. So keep an eye out for that. But thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you tomorrow, YouTubers.